Hello, welcome to Post Colonial Space. I'm Masood Raja, and in this brief video, I will talk about the process of finding a good paper topic for your classes. Now, my main concern is graduate courses, but this applies to undergraduates as well. And I have covered this in my longer lectures on scholarly publishing, but I usually get this question: how do I know this is a good topic, from my students as well as from people from all over the world? So I thought I should just create a basic primer about how to find a good topic. So please watch this video to the end, and I'm pretty hopeful that by the end of this brief video, you will at least know what process does it take to find a good paper topic in the humanities and, of course, in English studies. So one mistake that you don't want to make is to write a paper that has already been written, right? So how do you find out that, let's say, what you're planning to write about Shakespeare's The Tempest is something that is new and original, or at least something that isn't just your version of what someone else, a more established scholar, has already said? So in order to find that out, you start with a broad search, right? Now, my students at UNT have access to the major search engines and databases in their library, but I'm not going to use that as an example. I would say let's go to the most easily available source on the net, which is Google Scholar. So the first thing you want to do is you just want to put in a general term. Let's say Shakespeare's Tempest, and see what comes up. Okay, so now that you look on the screen, quite a few things are coming up. First are the plays themselves. A case study in critical controversy. This is published in 2000. The Sea and the Mirror, a commentary on Shakespeare's The Tempest. Now, this is all that is coming up in the public domain, right? Now, next step is that you narrow down what you see, right? 5, 10, or 6 articles, and you look in detail on them, but especially you look at their abstracts, right? So let's see if I want to check The Sea and the Mirror. This is a book. This is also a book. And let's say this is an article. Let's look at that. And okay, so what comes up is the whole article, so it's open. So the next step then is to see what this author is arguing, right? And whether it's relevant to what general idea you have about Shakespeare's The Tempest. So after you've read a few abstracts, then you roughly know these are the things about the play that have been covered in the most recent scholarship. And then you ask yourself, okay, so-and-so has said about the colonial nature of the life on the island. There are quite a few articles on Prospero, quite a few articles on Ariel, quite a big references about Caliban. Then if you broaden your search, let's say if you just add one more keyword to your search, right? Let's say we just put the Shakespeare's Tempest there, but let's put post-colonialism there and see what all comes up. Right? That's another qualifier. So here's all that's coming up. Repositioning Shakespeare, post-colonial literature, that's the Cambridge Companion. Beyond the Straits, post-colonial allegories of the globe. Okay, acting Shakespeare in post-colonial space. Now, what that one qualifier, one more term in there, has further focused your search in terms of post-colonial theory. So this is what I mean by broad search, right? You read the abstracts, you find whatever papers you can find, and that gives you an idea of what has already been said about a certain topic, about a certain play, right? It's only when you know where the conversation is and how it came to be there that you will know what you can add to it. Now, remember, a work of scholarship, a paper, even if you're writing for a graduate class, is always a conversation with what other people have said. And then your new way of looking at a text or your different way of looking at a text. The worst thing that you can do is do no research and come up with a topic and start writing about it, and then find out that someone else has actually written a better paper on it. So start with a basic search about some possible topic ideas that you have. Then go into the essays that come up or the books that come up and see what the general argument is. And then after you have listed about 20, 25 essays, there would be mostly 6 or 7 essays that are relevant to your query. Read those carefully, and then you will have a thesis statement or a controlling idea, because now you know X, Y, Z has said this about Tempest, Y and Z has said this about Tempest, Chinwei Zhu has said this about Ariel and Caliban. Knowing all that will then give you your entry into the play and how you want to see it. So that's how, roughly speaking, through a broader search, that you find out what could be a possible topic about the text that you want to write about, or beyond that, whether or not what you're planning to write about is actually something original or something that contributes to the body of works in that particular topic. Now, a lot of people ask me about this as to, which theory to use or which theorist to use. That's a secondary point, right? The different theoretical lens can also enable you to write something original. For example, you can go to someone's essay and say, okay, from a historicist point of view, Mr. Z can read this play this way, but if we look at it from a feminist perspective, then we can also read it differently like this, right? And so that way you're playing with what others have written, right? But you are saying if we shift the lens or perspective, we can read the same text differently, and you're putting yourself in conversation with someone else. So these are like some of the basic tricks of just about how to find out whether or not what you're planning to write about is an original topic or a topic that contributes to the field of study in which you're writing. Now, here is an extra bonus point. If you are in a graduate program, chances are every graduate class, the final assignment will be to write a term paper. Train yourself to write the kind of term paper that is original, that is trying to do something risky, trying to create a new piece of knowledge. Because if you do that, then let's say if you took 12 graduate courses, by the time you graduate, you will have 12 potential essays that you can revise and submit and publish. And that I'm speaking from my own life experiences. Okay, within 3 years of graduating from my PhD program, I had more than 15 essays, or let's say not 15, I would say 10 essays at least published, either in journals or as book chapters. I actually didn't sit down and write all of them. I mean, just a few, which I started from the scratch. Rest of them were papers that I had written in graduate school. And then all I had to do is sit and revise them carefully and submit them to different journals. So this is all. If you are interested in a longer version of my conversation about how to do research and how to publish, I have quite a few materials, right? Some of them are on my website, some of them are on YouTube on this channel. Please take a look at them and see if you want to follow and watch them. All right, that's all I have on a very specific topic, a very short, brief talk. I hope it is useful to you. Thank you so much for your time, and please take care and keep plodding on with your research. And now I'll see you next time. And until then, peace and love.